My name is Joyce Chester, and I'm running for school director in the Westchester Area School District, Region 1.
School boards are the foundation of our community. They are the community's voice in public education, and in many ways, they are our first entry into civics. However, when election time comes around, there is often very little coverage about the candidates and the office itself. Therefore, Indivisible and Chester County Marching Forward have come together to introduce some of the candidates running for school board director this year. This evening, we have with us Joyce Chester. So Joyce, let's get right into it.
Okay.
Given all the public discourse in recent months, what is still inspiring you to be school board director?
Hands down, it's the kids. Their energy, their drive, their innocence, their just ability to be so resilient. When I hear them speaking, it just amazes me. And I see such hope, and I see such, I'm so encouraged for our future when I see some of the kids that we represent. And I know that all of them have potential. So that's the thing that drives me to want to run.
That's awesome. I love that. Children have lots of energy, that's for sure, at all different levels, kindergarten through 25, really, right? And you're encouraged that they can be their best selves.
Absolutely.
And I love that. That was a great answer. So now, can you tell me what your biggest strengths are that you think you would bring to the table and how you see them benefiting the constituents in your district?
Sure. I know that I'm extremely creative, and I think bringing that creativity to the board kind of helps us look at things, in different ways. And I love to have public discourse about issues and how we can resolve them. And people are coming from different places and different experiences, different pasts, and we bring those to the table. And I think I'm very good at synthesizing those, synthesizing different points of view and bringing together a strategy and taking that into tactical performance so that we actually get it done. So I think that, being creative, being a critical thinker, from my business, from working so many years in for-profit, I think that's the strength I bring to the table.
Well, Joyce, I have to say, you were the first person ever to say that they love the public discourse. So that says a lot about your strength of character, that you are a creative thinker, and you are clearly a listener, because if you like the public discourse, that means you're listening to people from all sides of the aisle. And we definitely need a lot more of that.
So I think that's critical.
Yeah, I appreciate that answer.
Thank you.
Now,
I definitely think we should do a lot more listening before we do the talking.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There is definitely a saying, I'm trying to remember what it is, something about, I never learned anything while I was talking.
I love that. Yeah.
So now
I'm going to use that.
Yeah. Okay. And then you can quote me.
I will.
So now tell me, is there something that from your first term or your second term as school board director that you are the most proud of?
Oh my goodness. Yes. So there are a couple of things, but the one thing that I worked so diligently on, did not take my eye off the ball, was getting a diversity and equity director at cabinet level. I feel like that took 7 years, but at long last, it did happen with that position reporting directly to the superintendent. I am so proud of that work and the step-by-step process that we had to go through, the studies that we went through to make that happen. I looked at other school districts nationwide to see what they were doing. I kept bringing that back to our board for discussion. And finally it happened. So I'm really, really proud of that. The other thing I'm really proud of is full day kindergarten, because I think the younger we can start with our kids and kind of getting them acclimated to thinking and learning, I think the better off they will be. So those two things in particular, I'm really proud of.
That's awesome. So I can say, when my family was moving here 10 years ago, um, we were really looking at Westchester. And I
Mm,
knew that full day kindergarten was coming down the pipe. And I
yes.
really wanted to be a part of that because my children came from preschool, where, of course,
Mm,
I had to pay for it, but it was all day. And then all of a sudden, we had half day kindergarten. So there was a huge disconnect. Um, and I do love that. And I think that, especially now after the pandemic, that
mhm.
full day kindergarten will be so valued. And
Oh, absolutely.
when you have a good, strong, solid school system with lots of diversity and programs, then your taxes, your house value will never go down. So
Absolutely.
that's good fiscally as well, I'm sure.
That is, and that's another key issue for me. I'm really proud that we have been able to manage the budget the way we have been, so that we're not overtaxing the residents of the district, and we're providing value. I mean, look at the teachers that we can attract and the administration that we can attract. I think that says a lot for the district.
Now, we talked about something that you've already done. What can you tell me that still needs to be done? What are those top 2 to 3 priorities that you want to keep getting your hands dirty with?
One of the things that I wrestle with is disproportionality, looking at the various students and how they are faring in the school, the achievement gap, how we some children are more disciplined more harshly than others, some groups discipline more harshly than others. We have to take a critical look at that to see what kind of training. Maybe there's more trauma training that's needed for the staff. I think we just need to take an honest look at that and see where we really are and what we really need to do to provide more equity between groups of students, and continue to look at equity in hiring, and not just racial equity or ethnic by ethnicity, but by everything. Teachers with disabilities, or differently abled, as we say, or LGBTQ community, so that when students come to school, they can see themselves in the people that are charged to lead them. I think that's really important. I think it makes a difference to the students.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. Representation definitely matters. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you know or not, but I am a teacher. And my classroom is right next to a seventh grade history teacher. And she talks about the American Revolution and no taxation without representation, right? So it has mattered from the beginning of America, and it's always going to
Correct.
matter. So I love that. That is a great answer.
Hmm.
With your tenacity and your creativity and your ability to see all sides, Westchester will be just a much better place with
Oh,
you at the table.
thank
So
you.
before we end,
Mhm.
I just want to know, tell us 1 or 2 things that we wouldn't be able to find out about you if we just Googled you or looked you up on LinkedIn.
One of the key things about me, I'm dyslexic, and I have learning difference as well. So I have been a lifelong student. I teach adults now that have low literacy levels. That's what I do for my full time job. I think it's my ability to cope with what I've struggled with all my life that helps me work with adults that have some of these same issues. So I don't think people, when I tell people I'm dyslexic and that I have learning difference, they go like, "What?" And I say, "It's true. It's absolutely true." But I'm going to tell you, I have two sons that have gone through the Westchester area district. School district. They are very successful today. My grandson just graduated. He is now at Westchester University. So I look at them and think, you know what, we can replicate this over and over and over and over and over again. So that's what I think about when I think about the district. I'm always excited to do the work of the district. I could go on and on about all of the good things and then the things that we need to do. So I'm up for the challenge of continuing on that path of looking for ways to help the students achieve their personal best, which is our mission.
That's the perfect way to end it. So, again, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate the work that you're doing and good luck with your campaign.
Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity.